Eddie betrayed Maeve to Conrad in Episode 9 of MobLand, which in turn exposed Serafina and Brendan's treachery to Richie. This caused Maeve to question her trust in Eddie and may have led her loyalty to shift to Kevin. Antoine, Lord Pinnock, Isef Khalil, Hamd, Home Secretary Sway Sharma, and Bella all go to London to arrange a meeting, the point of which is never made clear. Despite Paul's fears, a disturbing subplot involves Kevin, who is pretending to be Rusby's Uber driver. He confronts and kills Rusby. This highlights Kevin's mental fragility and his subsequent desire for vengeance. It also draws attention to the issue of male victims of sexual harassment. Conrad's racist comments and Jamie's calculating moves further strain the alliances during a tense sit-down at the Falkland Arms. After Harry tells Conrad about Jamie's impending meeting and provides information about Rich's fentanyl operation, Tattersall uses threats and promises to get Alice, whose true name is Nicola, to infiltrate the Harrigan household. A police tactical squad and air support are keeping tabs on her every move. The exchange between Maeve and Gina hints at complicated family dynamics and shifting allegiances among the DA, Sua, and Harrigan families, as well as a possible insult regarding Gina's parentage and a caution to avoid Eddie. Tattersall and Rich's plot to use Alice as an informant, along with the police surveillance, suggests that Conrad and Maeve will most likely be caught at the episode's conclusion, although Harry's loyalty remains unclear and could change. Review. Episode 9 of MobLand Season 1 sets the stage for the series' impending conclusion. While it appears that staying hunkered down is the rule in MobLand, characters come and go freely, especially in the Cotswolds. Although Pierce Brosnan's character, Conrad, is portrayed as a braggart, the only consequences for disrespecting him are his wicked gazes and unfulfilled threats. That's the norm in MobLand. Just as plot points may gain sudden importance in one episode and disappear in the next, characters show up in places as if by whim. In this episode, Conrad only begins to discuss fentanyl with the Mexicans, and there's been little real progress. The series opened with fentanyl. If the climaxes in Beggar's Banquet are any indication, a happy ending to Season 1 seems unlikely. At this point in MobLand's history, reviewing every storyline seems pointless. There's no hierarchy of importance, and though many plots overlap, they don't truly connect. Harry's dealings with Kat and Rich's encounter with police feel entirely separate. Kevin's relentless pursuit of revenge for his assault, portrayed in distressing detail, feels like it's from a different show altogether. Considine has stepped up to the challenge of this more intricate arc. Kevin now has more to accomplish than anyone else in MobLand, thanks to this companion storyline. However, the clumsy handling of the subject bodes poorly for the climax. Kevin confronts the man responsible for his trauma in prison, but the sequence is so poorly executed that it's unclear if this charming Londoner is actually Kevin's abuser. The tone and plot are completely muddled. Kevin fires a gun, but the scene plays almost like parody. With only one episode left, it seems implausible that the show will revisit Kevin's horrific tragedy. Still, it's hard to believe its ending. Dinner scene. Beggar's Banquet ends in a similarly pitiful manner. This dinner scene embodies all that MobLand has aimed for this season. Unfortunately, weak character development undermines the intended tone of intense, morbid humor. Even though an actor like Tom Hardy could command such a scene, Harry sits silently at the head of the table and barely appears in a few frames. Instead, the focus is on Harrence, Maeve, Conrad, Jan, and Alice, who is the honored guest. Jan stays silent out of fear. Alice, an exceptionally talented undercover agent since her introduction, struggles to maintain her disguise after even a single difficult question. The only remaining active characters, Conrad and Maeve, are, in my view, terribly miscast. Their supper is anything but relaxing, though not in the way MobLand intended. They yell, argue, break bottles, and crack unfunny jokes. Final twist. Once Conrad and Maeve are taken into custody, they quickly reconcile, while simultaneously threatening each other with knives and bottles. It's a perfect miniature of the series. The past doesn't dictate the future, No one remembers promises or threats, and moving on to the next scene matters more than understanding what just happened. The reveal from the end of Helter Skelter has some decent payoffs, albeit in a generic way. There's a game of mental chess between the two warring sides, and the scales are tipping against the Harrigan. Pieces are falling into place efficiently, and Toby Jones plays a convincing, conniving villain. Unfortunately, the closing moments fail to leave a strong impression. What should feel like a bold act of defiance comes off as awkward ramblings between two increasingly irrelevant characters. The weird musical number, juxtaposed against a coordinated action effort from minutes earlier, feels disjointed. It conveys far less impact than intended. Conclusion. The penultimate episode of MobLand Season 1 fails to effectively build momentum for the finale. It's inconsistent, filled with lazy, repetitive writing, and ends on an awkward note. Still, it manages to further develop some overarching themes and plot lines, even if the execution often falls flat.